Hi, I'm Liz Marsden and I've just started a 3-year postdoctoral research project at Åbo Akademi in Finland. As part of my postdoctoral work, I want to create a highly collaborative, multi-authored book focusing on community formation, interaction and norms in online or otherwise mediated groups. I'm also interested in how communities come together. For example, formats like reality television shows and groups interacting in online spaces create unique community norms, and I want to investigate the effect that the media through which communities are created has on the norms and practices that they develop in terms of language. And what I'm also interested in is how these norms differ from or reflect the moral order, impoliteness or politeness behaviours of wider groups and the society of which this group forms a part, and how the mediated group develop and reinforce their own norms as a part of or in opposition to that wider group. I'd like this project ideally to be really collaborative, and that's not because I'm not interested in doing all the work myself, but rather that I found in the last couple of years that collaborations have been more fruitful and more interesting than projects where I've self-directed everything, because other people bring in their knowledge, their research interests, and their own different ways of looking at the data. And the interplay between our different sets of knowledge always creates something that neither of us could have come up with independently. But I've also been thinking about joint scholarship generally and the idea of the multi-authored book. And recently I contributed a chapter to a multi-authored work, and it was obvious to me when I got my copy of that book that we'd all gone away and written our chapters in isolation and interpreted the brief in slightly different ways. And that was really interesting, but it gave the editors a really tough job to bring all those disparate ideas together. And it was obvious to me that if we'd written those chapters a little bit more collaboratively, then there would have been far more of a strong thread of common ideas throughout the work, which would make it a more interesting and cohesive text for people to engage with. And additionally, when I was reading those other chapters, I saw all kinds of literature citations and ideas and ways of analysing data that could have drastically enhanced and improved my own chapter within that work. And if only I'd known about those before the book was published, I could have implemented those changes within my own work. But by the time I found out about them, it was too late. And a more collaborative approach would mean that ideas from different chapters could cross-pollinate. So to achieve this, what I'm proposing is a book where I'm the joint author in every single chapter. So the chapters would be written with the book's overarching concept being interpreted more consistently. I'm not suggesting that I would railroad or constrain anyone's ideas, but rather that these multiple collaborations would produce a sort of feedback loop, where if it was obvious that the book concept itself needed to be altered or tweaked because of where we were going with the research, then that could absolutely be done. And new ideas and discoveries could be fed back not only into the other chapters that were being produced between me and different co-authors, but also into the book concept as a whole, which should allow the introduction and conclusion to bring the whole book together in a really rich and textured way. So if you have any questions or constructive criticisms about the project idea, please let me know, because I'm completely open to modifying the ideas in response to feedback. I currently have one definite co-author on board and 2 more expressions of interest, and I'm currently looking for more collaborators. So please do let me know if you're interested, and I'm really happy to have informal, commitment-free chats with anyone, from independent scholars to early career researchers, postgraduate students, and of course more established scholars. I'm also very interested in the idea of this being a potentially cross-disciplinary study, so I welcome conversations and collaborations with non-linguists as well. If you want to know more about me or my research, or you want to get in touch, you'll find all the details in the description box below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.